All right, boys and girls, today we're going to be looking at solving a word problem using base 10 blocks, using a number line, and using our bar model. But the first thing that I always do solving word problems is using my math strategy. All right, so I'll read the word problem. Dave has 25 whistles. He buys 45 more whistles. How many whistles does he have now? So the first thing I'm going to do is circle the numbers I'm working with, which is 25 and 45. I'm going to then look for my key word in the word problem, which is more. More tells me that my operation is going to be addition. Then I think, what is the question asking me? How many whistles does he have now? So I underline my question. So first I'll show my work and I'll start with my base 10 blocks. I'll start with the number 25. That's 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will then add that because our operation, remember, is addition. I will add that to the 45. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? So when I begin to count my base 10 blocks, I start with the highest value first, which is my tens. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then I begin to count my ones. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. That gives me a sum of 70. Now let's say I want to check myself to make sure that my answer is correct. I'll take the sum and I will subtract it by one of the numbers that I began working with. So let's just say 25. So 0 minus 5 I cannot do. That becomes a 10. I have to regroup it. 10 minus 5 is 5, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So I wound up getting one of the numbers that I was working with. So that is a check that my answer is correct. I'm going to use the open number line to find the sum of the same problem. So if I have 25 plus 45, I'm going to break apart the smallest number using my expanded form. So 25 broken up would be 20 plus 5. I am going to start my number line at the highest number, which is 45. So 45 goes right here, and we're going to the right because we are adding. So even though we said we broke apart the 25, for those of you that need more of a visual, I'm going to break that down into jumping by tens instead of just jumping by the 21st, okay? So that's going to be 45 plus 10. If I add 10 to 45, that's 55. I'm then going to add another 10. If I add 10 to 55, that is 65. But overall, I still jumped 20. Now it says I have 5 more to jump. So then I put plus 5. 65 plus 5, again, gives me the sum of 70. Now we have our bar model. So again, in our bar model, it is part, whole. So my whole sum goes on top, which is 70. My part is 25 here, and my other part is 45 from here. You see that? Now it's time for me to write my equation, okay? So my equation will be 25. I put my operation here, plus 45 equals my sum of 70. What strategies did I use? I circled my key numbers, I boxed in my keywords, I underlined my question, and I solved and checked. When you are really good at math, you are able to break down the steps that you have completed, and you're able to explain using words how you did it. So when you see explain how the problem was solved, that is what we're doing. We're taking it up a notch and we're explaining how we were able to solve it, right? So first, I used base 10 blocks and added 25 and 45 together. My sum, remember we use math words, my sum was 70. I then wrote my equation. We used the open number line, we used the base 10 blocks, and we used the break apart method to solve this problem. Do you see that? Good.